Hi, my name is Shia Bastida Patrick, and I am a 17-year-old climate justice activist living in New York City. I'm originally from Mexico, and I moved to New York City 4 years ago. Ever since, I've seen that the climate change issue, the climate crisis, really manifests itself everywhere in different ways, and it's affecting marginalized communities the most. This is why I focus on the social justice aspect of the climate crisis issue, because you cannot tackle climate change without focusing on who are the people who are being the most affected. It's not only about switching our energy resource, but also about looking at who are the people who are suffering the most from this. And it is not fair that people are disproportionately affected by the climate crisis. As a young activist, what I'm doing is I've been working with Fridays for Future, with People's Climate Movement, Sunrise, Extinction Rebellion, and we've gone to City Hall to testify. I've gone to Albany to lobby politicians. I started the movement at my school and got 600 students to come out and strike. So these are all a lot of things that are designed to get people into the movement, and to that end, I am launching a youth activism training program which aims to get more activists into the climate justice movement. So that is what I'm working on in New York City, and I want more youth to join me because this is a movement that is gaining so much traction right now, and we cannot lose that momentum. So I look forward to working with all of you, and I'll see you later.
First off, our teachers had to undergo a special training in order to be prepared for the type of project they were going to help us students work on, which turned out to be essential since our group of students were a little skeptical of whether or not we could work along students who had a different culture, thus different problems to solve. Students and teachers had a first meeting where they explained the different tasks us students were going to fulfill and how we were going to do so. We had a little lesson on the importance of communication overall, but especially in a multicultural collaborative environment. After strengthening these skills, we were ready to start, and to our surprise, after some discussions, we found many similarities. We were confronted with different lead topics and had to analyze and prepare each one of those in order to choose a final one. The students worked collectively and individually. At home, we would develop our ideas, post them on the website, and then we would discuss them in meetings. We identified the problems relevant to the UN Sustained Development Goals 8 and 9, which are decent work and economic growth, and industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Having all our different targets identified, we got feedback from both ourselves and our partner students and dealt with that first, since seeing different perspectives is crucial to any kind of collaborative work. Using the IVECA virtual classroom was one of the most important tools for our interaction with the partner students. We had all our tasks clearly in front of us, and we could see everyone's progress and help each other out. We kept developing our ideas in further detail to understand what we were able to do that could affect the given sectors of our community positively. Now that we had chosen a topic, we started working on our solution. What was a solution that could be used effectively nowadays in the age of technology? And a simple look around us inspired our solution. Almost everyone regularly uses a smartphone, so why not use it for something good? We thought through all the different functions we wanted to include in our application that would help us achieve the initial goals we set at the beginning of the challenge. At this point, we had to see what each student could do, because developing an application isn't an easy thing to do, especially since we had a time limit. At that point, our solution was almost completed, but we still had to get feedback from our target audience. Our application has a specific group of people it would be used by, so we had to check for ourselves what they think. 2 students were responsible of collecting the feedback we need, so they met up with some tourists and asked them about their experience in Tunisia and what they wish they could have done. We were positively surprised that they had the exact same problems that we mentioned. Then we explained our solution to them so that they could try it out themselves, and we got exactly what we needed. We got overwhelmingly positive, honest feedback and made friends in the process. This is all we needed to be able to finalize this prototype, which we now did.
The work complete are headed back to the lab. Testing 1, 2. Diane, it's 4:28 a.m. did have something for us, Michael.
Okay guys, let's sum up what we have done. During the regular IVECA session, we, Hunter High School and Ross High School in US, discussed many topics about the number 10 SDGs. And we decided to focus on economic inequalities for further research. The cause for economic inequality that we chose to research was monopolies, right?
Yeah!
Yes!
Oh yeah, Gino.
Yeah, but I don't really get it. What's the big deal?
Okay. So, monopolies leads to significant amount of damage to the natural competition of the market, as the balance between income and demand break due to the company's actions. This in turn leads to economic inequality as the wealth becomes focused towards a single company. Because of this, many governments choose to forbid such monopolies and place many restrictions on how much of the industry a company can own. However, students from US suggested that mega mergers are acting as a loophole for those restrictions. By using mega mergers, corporations can strengthen their foothold of the market.
Oh my, then how can I solve this problem?
As you guys know, we thought about a solution. First, in economics class, we have learned that supplementing the faculty of the market by imposing taxes towards companies is one of the functions of the government. So, we designed to activate or enact a law about taxes towards the merger enterprises. We call it Merged Company Tax Imposing Legislation. In short, MTILE.
I kind of get the concept, but could you explain more about it?
To be more specific about the solution, one of the problems about monopoly is that other smaller enterprises can't grow up. So, by making a legislation on further tax about merger companies, the government can collect more taxes.
Wait, but shouldn't there be some standards for collecting more taxes?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The standards for further taxes are exceeding certain levels in market domination rate, how large the cooperation is, and what kinds of prices the companies sell.
Then what can we expect from here? I'll take it from you.
To start with, MTILE will prevent mega-merged corporations from making other enterprises suffer, and the collected taxes will bail out corporations and support startups. By this way, the government can develop companies to keep in check of the monopolized enterprises and make the market more fair for everyone. Through the IVECA program, we learned that we should consider the cultural difference in communicating with our partners in US. While exchanging feedback on our solutions to SDG, we learned that we should diversify the solutions according to the target country's economic, political, and cultural circumstances. Nevertheless, we realized that there are still commonalities in how the economic inequality arises in each country, which is why global collaboration is necessary in solving world problems.
This vast destination for the garbage, which is transformed into art, was a form we found to diminish an aggression to the environment and at the same time promote the well-being for the population. In a survey, we interviewed 26 people of a neighborhood located in downtown, where the collection of both common and recyclable garbage is made. About 54% of these residents often see the undue disposal of the litter. Of them, about 92% claim to know their responsibility with preservation of the environment.
Quando você faz o artesanato pronto deles, ficam assim, eles gostam, eles não acreditam depois de pronto, porque fica muito bonito e interessante. Reciclagem é tudo. Você ajuda o meio ambiente, algo que você vai descartar, que vai prejudicar a natureza, você transforma e tudo fica bonito, né?
I remember the first time I participated in IVECA's project, which was to explore the problem of goal setting with students from California. During the research, we made a video connection for several times with students from our partner school to share the environmental problems in each other's area and propose solutions. Finally, we made a rainwater collector through the learning method of STEAM. Through this experience, I have exercised my cross-disciplinary learning ability and realized that although countries are different, our social problems are interrelated.
Through previous activity, I learned a lot. I know how we should protect our environment. I hope that through our protection, the water will become cleaner and the weather will become cleaner. This activity is very meaningful for us. It took us a long time to figure out ways to solve these problems. We have also learned from other countries how to protect the environment in our activities, and we have become friends with them. The Earth is our home. We have the responsibility to take good care of it.
Emma just concluded a IVECA 200 course. We discussed goal setting with students from Hanyang High School in Korea. Each school divided into 3 goals to study climate change. My team members and I chose light pollution for research and analysis. We and our career partners learned from each other through discussions on the website and presented our solutions by video connection. In this series of getting along through solving environmental problems together, I have learned that cross-cultural cooperation can bring out many new ideas and let me have a clear understanding of the contributions and shortcomings of China and Korea in environmental protection.